Okay, Diksha. You're talking about immune system, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us about immunity system?
Okay. So the immunity system or immune system, we usually call it like that, is a system that consists of cells, tissues, and organs that help your body fight germs and infections. It consists of lymphocytes, white blood cells, and skin, bone marrow, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, etc.
Hmm.
So, the white blood cells, also called leukocytes, monitor and scan all the organs in the body to find any suspicious signs.
Okay.
So, uh, when the leukocyte detects an antigen which enters the body through the skin, uh, it multiplies and causes changes in the body, and then the leukocyte detects it and activates and it's called the immune system. It's activated it's called the immune response.
Oh.
Then it sends phagocytes, which send a team of hungry macrophages to find the germs. Once it finds them, when it eat, it devours on the germs and it has a happy meal. And while having its meal, it sends information about the intruder to the to the lymphocytes, also called T cells. They go and search for the antigens and దొరికితే చంపేస్తాయి. ఇంకా వాటి గురించి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ని బి లింఫోసైట్స్కి పంపిస్తుంది. ఇంకా అప్పుడు అది యాంటీబాడీ ప్రోటీన్స్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది. వై షేప్లో ఉంటాయి అవి. ఇంకా అవి ఫీవర్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాయి, ఫీవర్ చేస్తాయి, జ్వరం వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు టెంపరేచర్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిన జ్వరం ఉన్నప్పుడు వేడిగా అయిపోతుంది కదా, ఇది చేతులు ఒళ్ళంతా వేడిగా అయిపోతుంది కదా. అప్పుడు జర్మ్స్ తట్టుకోలేవు వేడి, ఇంకా చనిపోతుంటాయి. వేడి తట్టుకోలేకపోయి చనిపోతుంటాయి. సో ఫీవర్ is actually a sign that your immune system is fighting to make you healthy again.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Nice. మరి ఇమ్యూనిటీ బూస్టర్స్ కి ఏం తినాలి అనే కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చెప్తావా?
You can eat amla, you can eat nutrient rich foods like amla, and you can take vitamins. I love amla and I eat it every day.
Okay, thank you very much Diksha. It was so informative. Okay. నీకు వేరే ఏమైనా ఫేవరెట్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా?
Yes, I like life sciences. I like human body. I like human anatomy, how the body works, etc.
ఓకే, దెన్ హ్యూమన్ బాడీ గురించి ఏదైనా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ చెప్తావా మాకు?
Okay, where shall we start?
Oh well, looks like you have a pretty long hair, so let's start from your hair.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I inherited it from my mother. She has oval follicles and I think I got it from her.
Oval follicles?
Yes.
Can you explain a bit more about them?
Okay. So it's actually the kind of follicle you have which determines the type of hair you have.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have our round follicles, then you have our straight hair. If you have our oval follicles, as I said, you'll have wavy hair. If you have a flat follicle, you'll have curly hair like you do. So okay, so most Africans have flat follicles because they mostly have curly hair.
And so you have oval follicle?
Yes.
Okay.
And my mother also does have them.
That's because you have wavy hair?
Yeah, I have a wavy hair and I inherited it from my mother genetically.
Okay. And then after hair, where do you want to? Let's go to,
Eyebrows?
Yeah, sure.
So, if you think of eyebrows, you usually think this plain in this ordinary hair above your eyes in this arch shape.
Yeah.
But there's way more than you think about it.
Is it?
Yeah, and ever wondered what it will be if you don't have eyebrows?
Mm-hmm. I never thought about it.
Well, okay, let's discuss about it now.
Mm-hmm.
So, number one, if you didn't have eyebrows, no one will be able to recognize you. Like if you had eyebrows before but you lost them later, no one will be able to recognize you. So they'll ask you, "Excuse me, who are you?"
Okay.
Even with someone who had lots of experience with you.
Okay.
So scientists tried to experiment on this, and they decided to They gathered a group of volunteers, and they edited a picture of a celebrity so that the eyebrows are gone. Now, when the volunteers saw the picture, they went bonkers. When they tried to recognize the person, they went scratching their heads.
So they couldn't recognize that person.
Yes.
You mean the
So-
celebrity? They couldn't recognize a celebrity's picture?
Yes.
Okay.
So the surprising thing was if they remove the eyes from the picture by editing it, they can recognize the person.
Oh.
So if you don't have eyes, they can recognize you, but if you don't have eyebrows, they won't.
That's very interesting. I never
Yeah, you
thought
can
about
try imagining someone and without eyebrows.
it. Yeah. I'll try. I'm trying. But yeah, what you're saying is right. Well, thank you. But let's go to the
Wait, there's more.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So that if you don't have eyebrows, it will be bad news for you. If you exercise a lot or work really hard, or when you go out, for example, to office in the rain, it's gonna be bad news for you if you don't have eyebrows.
Mm-hmm. And how is that?
That's because when you exercise or work hard, you'll get lots of sweat, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sweat will be made to. These eyebrows are shaped like arches because all these hairs are shaped like this because the water will trickle, or sweat or water will trickle down your cheeks like this.
Okay. Instead of getting into the eyes.
Yes, if you don't have eyebrow, it will drip into our eyes and cause irritation.
Yeah. Right.
You'll end up rubbing your eyes, and that's not really good for you.
Yeah. I just realized that. Yeah. Thank you.
So, should we talk about parts of the eye, or vision deficiency, some kind of?
Vision deficiency.
Okay. So, let's talk about color blindness.
Okay.
So, there is a kind of screen at the back of our eye called the retina.
Okay.
It contains light sensitive cells called rods and cones.
Okay.
And the difference between them is that rods are of just one type and they do not detect color. They detect black, white, and shades of grey.
Okay.
So they also help you see in the dark. That's why when you're in the dark, you can't see for a little while because the cones aren't fully activated. The rods aren't fully activated. So next you can see well because they are activated now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So cones detect color. There are of three types. One detects blue, another detects red, and another detects green. So with the help of them, you can see the whole spectrum of colors. But wait. But how can we see the whole spectrum of colors with only three?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Well, now they mix colors. They mix the colors.
Okay.
So, for example, if you mix red with blue, then you'll get it violet. And if you mix like blue with green, you'll get turquoise.
Okay.
So that's how they help you see an infinite number of colors.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That's very interesting, Diksha. Okay.
So, so that's how it helps you see the whole spectrum of colors. But sometimes if one hormone cone stops working, it causes color blindness.
Okay.
So, for example, in red-green color blindness, a red apple might look green in color, or in another kind of color blindness, it might look gray in color.
Okay. 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 Very. Now I understand.
This part this part is called the pinna or auricle, and it's so bendy because it contains cartilage.
Okay. Okay.
So once you go in, let's travel a little bit deeper,
Okay.
and you'll find some kind of sticky gunk everywhere. It's called earwax. Some people find it disgusting and they try to take it out with earbuds, but that is a bad habit. That's a bad habit, because even though it feel disgusting, even though it might be disgusting, it's very helpful actually,
And how is that?
because it helps trap. Because it's sticky, it helps in trapping in germs, dust, and other stuff that might damage your ear if they go in.
Okay.
So, if you don't have earwax, it's not good news for viewers. Even though it might be good news for the people who don't like earwax in their ears, it will be really bad news for the ear itself.
Okay.
So, let's travel more deeper.
Okay.
Anyway, the earwax is produced by the way, it's produced by the ear canal. Okay, now let's go back into the middle ear. So, okay, so that's, if you travel there, you will find a thin piece of skin in straightly stretched. It is similar to the bongo drums you play. The only difference is that no one should hit it to make it produce sound.
Okay.
So the sound is transferred from the eardrum. It vibrates and it's transferred to three teeny tiny, actually the smallest bones in your body called the ossicles. So the ossicle bones vibrate the sound and take it to a swirly water slide like tube called the cochlea. So just like a water slide, it's filled with a fluid. And like a water slide, it has tiny hairs in it. It's called cilia. And I'm sure you heard that term before.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what will happen if you push the water like this with your hand.
It causes ripples or waves, water waves.
Yeah, and some plants around it also move like this, right?
Yeah.
The same happens with the cilia. The sound waves acts like your hand and pushes the fluid, and the cilia move, and the movement it will send signals through the movement to your brain, and you hear what you hear.
Okay, that's very interesting. That's interesting. Then
Go.
Diksha, shall we go with the nose now?
Of course.
Okay.
So just like your nose is squishy, is soft and bendy because it's made of cartilage. Even a shark has cartilage instead of bones because that helps them swim faster to catch their prey.
Okay.
So
And they bend, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it makes them flexible.
Okay. Okay.
So if you travel in, you'll find in tiny nose hairs and some snot in there. So some people even gruesome, that even like disturbing, even more uncomfortable than picking out your earwax. They pick out their nose hairs. Yeah, it feels like cockroaches creeping on you when you think of that. Yeah, not only does it feel uncomfortable to think of, but it's also a really bad habit.
Okay.
Because your nose hairs act like a tea strainer, and they filter dust and germs from the air you breathe in, and it make the air cleaner.
Okay.
Even the snot helps in this, so picking out your snot is also a bad habit.
Okay. Okay.
ఇంకా ఓకే, ఇక్కడ హీటింగ్ ప్యాడ్స్ లాంటివి ఆర్గన్స్ ఉంటాయి ఈ ముక్కులో. ఇంకా నువ్వు లోపలికి పీల్చుకున్నప్పుడు మీరు దానివల్లే వెచ్చగా అవుతుంటుంది. ఇంకా అప్పుడు బ్రీతింగ్ పీల్చుకోవడానికి ఇంకా సూటబుల్గా అట్లా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇంకా నోరు ముక్కు గురించి కూడా మాట్లాడాలి. కొంచెం నోరు కూడా కలపాలి దీంట్లోకి.
ఓకే, చెప్పు.
ఏంటంటే ఎప్పుడన్నా గమనించావో, జ్వరం వచ్చినప్పుడు, ముక్కు దిబ్బడు వచ్చినప్పుడు అసలు తింటే చప్పగా అనిపిస్తుంటుందని. ఎందుకంటే రుచి ఇంకా వాసన చాలా దగ్గరగా క్లోజ్గా రిలేటెడ్ అయి ఉంటాయి, అతుక్కుపోయినట్టుంటాయి.
ఓకే.
సో అవి ఏంటంటే ఓకే, నువ్వు ఏమన్నా బర్గరో ఇంకా సాంబారో ఏమన్నా అవి ఉంటే దాన్ని పీల్చుకుంటే దాని వాసన చూసినప్పుడు ఓల్ఫాక్టరీ రిసెప్టర్స్ అని ఒక ఆర్గన్ ఉంటుంది, దానికి ఈ స్మెల్లో వాసన మాలిక్యూల్స్ తగులుతాయి. ఇంకా అప్పుడు అది తగిలినప్పుడు బుర్రకి బ్రెయిన్కి పంపిస్తుంటాయి ఈ సిగ్నల్స్. ఇంకా బ్రెయిన్ చెప్తుంది ఈ సాంబార్ చాలా రుచిగా ఉంటుంది, ఇది తినాల్సిందే అని.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
కానీ ముక్కు దిబ్బడు వచ్చినప్పుడు మొత్తం చీమిడి మొత్తం అంటుకుంటుంది, చీమిడి మొత్తం.
ఓకే.
అప్పుడు లోపలికి వాసన చూసినప్పుడు సాంబార్ని స్మెల్ మాలిక్యూల్స్, వాసన మాలిక్యూల్స్ ఇరుక్కుపోతాయి చీమిడిలో, ఇంకా ఓల్ఫాక్టరీ రిసెప్టర్స్కి తగలుతూ. సో బ్రెయిన్ చెప్తుంది ఇది అసలు దీనికి అసలు టేస్టే ఉండేటట్టు లేదు, దీనికి అసలు టేస్టే ఉండేటట్టు లేదు, చెప్పగా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్తుంది.
ఓకే.
సో దట్స్ వై అందుకు జ్వరం వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమన్నా, జలుబు వచ్చినప్పుడు, ముక్కు దెబ్బడు వచ్చినప్పుడు టేస్ట్ చేయలేవు, రుచి చూడలేవు.
Okay, okay. Now I understand. Diksha, let's get into the next one. Like, maybe, what do you want to talk about?
What about the tongue?
Okay, yeah.
Well, let's bust a myth.
Okay.
I'll bust a myth about the tongue. Not exactly about the tongue, but something that it contains. Taste buds.
Okay.
Now, have you ever heard that the sweet taste buds are like here, salt here, sour here, like that, bitter here, like blah blah blah. But that's a fake. That's a real fake.
Okay. So, what's the truth then?
Well, the truth is that every taste bud can detect all 5 tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, salty, umami, everything.
Okay.
So it's a total myth that the whole thing is a myth. It's that they are separate taste buds taste separate tastes.
Okay.
That's the total means.
Okay.
Now let's talk about something true.
Okay.
Even though it might sound unbelievable, your child has more taste buds than you do.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe me, to prove it, we should perform an experiment.
Okay.
You'll need some red cabbage, your child, some water, and some cotton swabs. First, boil the red cabbage in water, and you'll find that and after you strain it, you'll find that the water has turned blue. It's because of a blue pigment called anthocyanin.
Okay.
So, okay, and so
We rub it on the tongues.
yeah, you should rub it on the tongues with a cotton of your child and you with a cotton swab,
Mm-hmm.
and then okay, and now you place a glass slide on each your child's and your tongue and just gently press on it, and you'll find some pale blue dots, and those are your round papillae. They are often confused for taste buds. But they aren't. They are what contain taste buds. Each one contains for lakhs, millions of taste buds. Thousands for thousands.
Okay. Oh, 4,000s, not lakhs and millions, right?
Okay, yes. I'm sorry,
Okay.
that was too much.
Yeah.
And now, next one, okay. I mean, so that the pale blue dots are the round papillae. Those are which contain in the taste buds. As I said, each one contains for thousands of them, or
Okay.
even more.
Okay.
So it's proven that your child has more taste buds than you do.
So the slide shows that more papillae. The child slide shows more
Yeah,
papillae
you-
than the adult slide, is it?
Yeah, you could, and you don't need to use the slide, but to make it more clear, you can use it.
Okay, fine. You can turn your.
I'm gonna tell you about something interesting about an owl snake.
Okay.
Did you know that an owl can spin its head 360 degrees?
Okay. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's
I wish I could.
Yeah, but unfortunately we couldn't.
Why is that so?
Because I think so because the owl's sliding joint. I mean, it's like this. It's more flexible.
Okay.
Ours is less flexible, and so we can't do that.
Okay. So then, what else?
And there's a gland called the thyroid gland. It's butterfly-shaped gland in your throat. It's called thyroid, and it produces a hormone called thyroxine.
Okay.
It helps control your metabolism.
Okay.
So it determines how heavy or light you are.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a gland, a teeny tiny gland, actually the smallest gland present in your brain, called the pituitary gland.
Okay.
Even though despite its teeny tiny size, it's actually like the boss of the entire endocrine system.
Oh, okay.
Just like in cartoons, they showed short bosses.
Okay. Okay.
So,
What does it do?
so it helps control your height.
Okay.
But sometimes due to some kind of tumor, it can produce excess growth hormone, and so you can be so tall you can touch the ceiling of the shed.
Okay.
So this is called gigantism.
Okay.
Sometimes even if you grow up, even if there's not enough growth hormone, it will produce dwarfism. when
Okay.
someone looks really short,
Okay.
even if he's an adult, even if he's a full grown up adult.
Okay, Diksha, that's very interesting.
Yeah, isn't
You
it?
told us, you shared a lot of interesting facts with us, and then tomorrow maybe we'll talk about some more interesting facts about the human body. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
You're most welcome. Namaste.
Okay, namaste.